years and jewelry designer, is a Kenyan multi-talented individual who is passionate about self-expression and pushing artistic boundaries. We assure you that for the next 30 minutes, you won't touch that dial because we have so much in store for you as we delve on how she makes artistic handmade products. My name is ASACHI and karibu to another episode of Fashion Diaries.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, ASACHI. I'm good.
Introduce yourself to our audience.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Mongeli. I'm a rapper, singer, and jewelry designer, and I'm here today for a conversation on jewelry making.
I assume you really are exploring the world of jewelry design, and today on Fashion Diaries we are talking on jewelry design. So there are so many specializations that you could have ventured into, but why specifically did you focus on handmade jewelry, mostly using the brass, cowrie shells?
Okay. So I mentioned this somewhere else that I got into jewelry by mistake. I was looking for a piece to match an outfit I had, and I was wondering what I could get to accessorize. So I quickly cut up an Ankara piece I had and put it on and got many compliments on it. So guys also started requesting me to make for them. So that's when I started doing it. But professionally, I started in 2019 when I decided now that I'm going to pursue this seriously and I'm going to just go all the way and see what comes out of it. Yeah.
What kind of jewelry do you actually focus on?
Okay, so I mostly make my jewelry with cowrie shells and leather and beads. That's for the handmade ones I make. But there's sometimes that I source other pieces from different places. So I can source from Ethiopia, from Kenya, from Ghana, depending on the piece I like and whichever method it's made in. So I mostly make leather, cowrie shell, beadwork, and brass. Yeah.
So where do you actually source for the other things such as cowrie shells? Where do you actually source them from?
Okay, so cowrie shells, I get them at Karioko. There's a wide variety of cowrie shells you can get there. There's many pieces. For the leather, I also get it in Karioko, or sometimes I can recycle pieces from clothes that I find or belts that I have, and I find that I like this fabric and how it feels, and I think that it would really look great with beadwork or with cowrie shells. Yeah.
So I'm curious, for things like cowrie shells, they almost all look the same. What qualities do you look for in cowrie shells for you to know that they can actually make an artistic item?
Okay, so for cowrie shells, I normally look at the size. So the size will determine if I'll get a bunch or not. The color, you can find sometimes that they're assorted, but the color is not similar and uniform, so that will affect how your final piece turns out. Sometimes I also check to see the quantity because some are more than others. How also clean they are, because sometimes like here in the middle you can find that there's lots of dirt, so some it's more than others. So when you get the pieces, you have to come home, soak them, then wash them so that you can just deliver something quality to your client.
How about leather? What qualities do you look for in the leather for you to make an artistic item?
So for leather, it depends on the color, on how hard it is, how thick it is, because I mostly use needles to go through it, so how hard it is determines if I'll get a piece or not. The price, the design I'm going for can also determine the type of leather I'll use.
Right now I see you are in the process of making curtains.
Yeah.
Explain to us about that.
So this is just a variation of my signature pieces, this choker. So I'm just in the process of completing this piece. I love this piece because it carries elements of a recycled bag I had. So these spikes that you can see here are from a bag I had that got spoiled, and I could just not be able to make it and repair it. So it had the studs, and I really liked them, and I thought they would really look cool on a choker. So then the usual aluminium wire looking back in my life, I've always loved crafting. I'm those people you always find taking up pieces, putting them together, stitching, sewing, designing, always trying to make something better and just not how I found it, and adding a touch of Mongel in everything. So even in high school, I would design for people during cultural days, outfits. I would style people. I remember as a kid, I loved just looking at different trinkets and wondering, wow, this looks so cool. How did they make it? And I remember an instance where I picked up something that looked like a ring. I put it on, slept overnight, and I was unable to remove it the next day. We had to go to some welding guy to cut it off my finger, and I love crafting, I love making, I love creating. It's something that is inside me, it's inborn, and I can't resist it. Yeah.
That was you speaking generally.
Yeah.
Now, how about now professionally, now in business? How was your first venture when making an item for a client?
So the first venture I remember was in campus, and I was making very miniature type of things. They were crude, let me say, because they were not finished well, but guys bought into it and they were so excited because they were like, wow, you just made this from your mind, like you just thought about this thing and you made it, and it looks cool. So yeah, in campus, yeah, but it was not serious. It was something that was on and off. It was just like, okay, now I need money to do this. What can I do to get this money? And I don't want to ask my folks for it. So yeah.
Now, speaking on holistically, you also make products made from brass.
Yeah.
First of all, I'd like to know why brass of everything, because I see most of your rings that are actually made of brass. Why did you actually choose to dwell on or specialize in brass?
Brass is an amazing material. It's an alloy actually. It's an alloy of copper, zinc, and aluminum, if I'm not wrong. It's very long lasting. It's a piece you won't need to throw. It won't tarnish. It won't get those green lines you get on fake products from China. And it's something that's very African. Yeah.
Do you have a plan to use other metals apart from brass?
Yeah, there's plans to go into silver. I would really love to see how that goes. It's preference. Yeah. Just preference.
How do you actually clean the brass?
So brass is very easy to clean with household. Get a lime or lemon, just cut up the piece and just rub your piece. Rub a ring, or if you have a necklace, just rub through it. You can also use baking soda. You can soak it in vinegar, although that's a bit harsh, but I recommend using lemon and lime and baking soda. Yeah.
How can someone know their ring size? Because I'm sure most individuals don't have an idea of their ring size.
Okay, so in the digital age, it's very easy. You just download an app called Ring Sizer. You take a ring that you already have and just place it on the app, resize it according to the diameter. You will see it's indicated in millimeters, the size of the ring. But if you don't have a ring, you can also just use a piece of string. You can take the string, maybe I can demonstrate. So assuming this was the string, you just take it, wrap it around your finger, try be accurate as possible, and then after you're done, you just remove, get your ruler. You can get a ruler and then you measure, just take it from the 0 to, and then you would see in millimeters, in centimeters, what your ring size is. But I recommend the Ring Sizer. It's less tedious. Yeah.
So generally, how do you usually market all your products through social media? How do you usually market? Because you make such a variety of items, from brass, from leather, from cowrie shells. How do you generally market them to source clients?
So mostly it's just social media, because currently I don't have a physical shop where guys can come, but it's mostly social media through myself. Since I'm a singer and rapper, I normally just wear my pieces to promote myself during events and live performances. How else? Really, through pop-ups, just going to different shows where I can display my art and guys come and buy. Yeah, that's mainly what I do.
We go on a short commercial break, but don't you touch the dial. We'll be right back.
Focus on Health is a show that creates awareness on matters health and informs you on various diseases, their causes, treatment, prevention, coping, and support. So join me, Boari Michelle, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. only on KUTV. You can also follow us on our social media platforms at KUTV Focus on Health on Facebook and also on YouTube, and Health Focus on Instagram, because your health is your wealth. Stay safe and stay healthy.
Kutoka kuwa jamii ya kuhamahama na sasa kujumuisha kilimo katika mitindo yao ya maisha. Kwenye toleo la kaunti ya Narok, hii ni Boresha Kilimo, kwani afya bora ni kilimo bora.
Kwani kilimo ndicho huboresha maisha.
First time?
Yeah, I'm kind of scared, but I can do this. Mess with me. Yeah, let's do this, man.
Tell us the inspiration behind your velvet design on YouTube.
Thank you.
About it.
So this top, I had this top for a while in my wardrobe. It was just plain black top, and then some time back I had an event coming up where I was needed to perform, and I was looking for an outfit. So looking through my wardrobe, kama kawaida, girls, you know, hauna outfits, but your wardrobe imejaa. So I was wondering, now what will I do? So I looked at this top, I was like, great idea, cowrie shells, and it will definitely take it a notch higher. So yeah, I just added the cowrie shells on top, and it became something else. Yeah.
You mentioned about the lost casting process. Tell us more about it.
Okay, so the lost wax casting method is a popular method used by people in Ghana and Ethiopia, and generally just Africa, to make brass items. So you'll find that they have clay, they use fire, and molten brass or whichever metal they want to use. So the wax is what they use to make the shape of whatever thing they want to make. So wanna make your shape kwa clay, waneka wax ikishakauka waneka kwa fire, wax melts out, and then it leaves out that shape, and then they add the molten brass or gold or silver to make now the ring or whichever piece or ornament.
The lost casting process, is it current or is it a bit ancient?
It's ancient. Right now there's people use machines to make the pieces. Yeah.
And for you and your brass pieces, for instance, the rings that you have you actually intend it to be?
Okay, so for the rings that are here, these are just sourced while they're ready-made. So I'll just go to the market and go look for different designs and buy the ones I like. The ones I make are a little bit smaller. I don't have a sample right here, but they're smaller in terms of gauges. They're like MIDI rings. They're really tiny wires. They're like 24 gauges, very tiny, easy to manipulate with hand tools. You can't manipulate this with this tool. This needs fire to make. Yeah, so I make the much smaller rings. Yeah.
How easy or difficult is it to work with the metals?
I don't think it's difficult. So for me, if I would want like a brass ring collection, I would design, then go probably to Kibera because that's the place with the most brass artisans. So I just come up with the designs, go to Kibera, show them, and then they do the rest. Yeah.
You talked of you wanting to, in future, work with metals such as silver.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the Kenyans are really embracing jewelry made of metals? You wanting to actually incorporate silver as part of your designs?
Yeah, I think Kenyans are open to that fact, and especially now, and there's more people who are looking to get jewelry in terms of assets or heirlooms, so you find that they'll go for authentic jewelry, so made of gold or silver or pearls, so it's way pricier, it's just better. I don't think it's hard. It's not hard to work with metals. As long as you know your goal and you know where to go to actualize your goal, it's something that you can do. But I think Kenyans are open to just jewelry in general and just looking good and accessorizing. Yeah.
How is the jewelry industry basically as a whole?
I think it's a booming industry. It's really great. There's so much inspiration out there. Guys are doing amazing things. Guys are like on London Fashion Week type of thing. Guys wako kwa runways, uko majuu, doing great things. So it's so amazing to just see that and be inspired by that. And I think it's just going to greater heights. Yeah.
And for you, I'm sure since you started in 2019 doing this professionally, there are some mistakes that you've actually done in you creating a few items. What are some of the mistakes that you've done and how have you learned from those mistakes?
So there's something I mentioned that when I was starting, I was working with a type of lining that was not proper for the leather I was using. So it would tear after a while. It was not long lasting. It was not great. So I would get complaints on that. So I had to go back to the drawing board and go look at the different materials that are out there and which one is really good and that's long lasting, and just guys will appreciate the quality and just the make of the thing. So I had to take time and just go and do my research to find out, okay, what lining is proper for this type of leather. Yeah,
so
that's
the choker that you're actually making,
yeah.
What process are you making? Because I've seen you've added a few details to it.
Yeah. So I'm in the place where I add this aluminum strings that dangle, and then now it's just finishing for the closures. Yeah, that's all that's left now. Yeah.
So what are your favorite jewelry trends right now in Kenya?
Interesting question. Jewelry trends. Let me see. There's this thing of layering necklaces. I like that. I like the layering. I like that men are more open to pearls. That's a trend I've seen. What else? I love that guys are actually accessorizing more. There's more rings. There's very bold rings out there. You can see guys going all out on the accessories. Guys are not subtle about it. It's very flamboyant and out there. You can't miss it. So I like that. Yeah.
For your pieces, how can one tell the authenticity of the brass or of the leather products? Because I'm imagining you can get clients who don't want to purchase items from this
you lied to me. For leather, you'll know genuine leather. Genuine leather does not burn. First of all. Genuine leather does not tear, so you can tell that when your piece is tearing, you just know, hey, hapo kulipewa mali ya China. Yeah.
So any challenges that you face then as you make different products from brass, from cowrie shells, from leather? And before I go to challenges, what's the material that you like using the most? Like you find yourself you using more cowrie shells as opposed to brass. Which products or which raw materials do you feel like you're using more as opposed to the other?
As you can tell, it's the cowrie shells. I just love their look, their story, and how they turn out on a piece, how they stand out, and how they're just a piece that anyone from anywhere will recognize and be like, yo, that's a cowrie shell, it's from Africa, and yo, all the stories that are attached to it. So yeah, it's mostly cowrie shells.
And I can tell it's diversity from your pieces, your chokers, your dressing. So what challenges are you facing even as you make this product?
So currently it's just maybe upgrading my equipment and using equipment that leaves my pieces quality. It does not make little marks on the links that I'm closing. Apart from that, it's just getting into a wider market and finding means of producing a lot more collections. And because currently I'm just the one who design, make, promote, and everything, so that is definitely a challenge in itself, because I do a lot of things and I can't just focus on jewelry alone. So just getting more workforce to join Gelly Studio. Yeah.
For the brass, you have mentioned that you actually don't do it alone. Tell us the people who work hand in hand with you to make the brass design a success.
So for the brass, honestly, I just do it myself. For the pieces, the rings that I make of brass, I do it myself. For the ones that I've sourced, I'll just go to different markets. So I'm not working with one specific person. So I would do that if I was looking to release a purely brass collection and I have my own original designs that have not been done anywhere. So that's when I would go and look for a brass artisan to help me bring them to life. Yeah.
Any person you feel like you can work with them in the near future?
Oh, yeah. I don't know how to work. I don't know if they collabo, but Adele Dejac, oh my god, I love Adele Dejac's work. I love Margot Wong, she's from Malawi. I love who else? Teresia Chalo, she's amazing minimalistic work that's profound, and she's just global. She even, like, her pieces were on Beyonce, and she's Kenyan, so it's like very inspirational. Who else? Magnus Okalas. Who else? Just this guy is doing very amazing things out here. But close to my heart, Adele Dejac and Margot Wong. Giannini, I almost forgot to say Giannini. Mind-blowing work. They offer so much inspiration to me, and they're just proof that this thing that I'm doing is possible, and it's been done, and it's just possible to scale it to very greater heights. Yeah.
And even as a wrap up, for Gelly Studio as a brand, where do you see it in the near future?
Yo, I see myself. I see these pieces on Paris Fashion Week. I see them on Bien. I see them on Beiti, Karun. I see these pieces just gaining a life of their own, and just being greater than myself, and just being a hallmark of culture in Kenya, and just a talking point when guys discuss about culture and the importance of preserving it and just continuity. That's what I see. I see several stores just everywhere in different malls. I see studios in especially marginalized places where the standards of living are not very high, but the people there are very skilled in ancient craftsmanship, like beadwork and weaving. So So I see Ngeli Studio going there and just uplifting such areas and women mostly. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ngeli.
Thank you.
How you are really embracing culture. You're really so much into culture.
Yeah.
And I like how you are a Gen Z or a millennial.
I'm a millennial actually.
You're really trying to embrace culture and bring it into diversity, into various things, in jewelry, clothing. Thank you so much, Ngeli, for this conversation.
Thank you, ASACHI, for having me. Thank you so much. I loved it.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Fashion Diaries as we get to see how art and design is incorporated to create aesthetic items like this. Get in touch with Mongeli Mutuku on her social media pages to get such aesthetic items. My name is Ashley ASACHI. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Until the next time we get to hang out here on another episode of Fashion Diaries, adios.